Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at GCNlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli. Watch the greenbacks
tumble. Everyone all set, cocked, locked. Here we go. Your dial set correctly to USAPrepares.com. And we broadcast 2 hours from high atop the Missouri Ozark Mountains. There's a link to all of your instructors on the website, USAPREPARES.com. We have a listen line. If you'd like to listen to us on your telephone, you certainly may dial this number, 605-562-4080. 605-562-4080. And we're also available on YouTube, AM, FM, satellite, podcasts, of course, Genesis Communications Network, Republic Broadcasting, Liberty News Radio, and others. If you'd like to call us, we'll pay for the call, 866-582-9933, 866-582-9933. Dr. Richard Allen Miller's with us. Welcome, Rick!
Good morning. I know. It was nice to see you in Chicago.
Rick, did I cause any problems with the front desk?
Oh, that was fun. No, they never said anything to me about that at all.
Okay.
So, you're just out there causing trouble, and I was amused at how you handled it differently than any of us, but effective.
Well, I suppose we should tell the class what happened.
By the way, thank you for that little care package. You didn't do that at all.
You're welcome. And Joey was part of that. So, Joey.
Well, yes, it's just so nice to see you. If we can share, then you don't need to do that, though. I mean,
Anyway, so what happened was Rick was going to be at this U.S. Psychotronic conference, and invited me and Joey, and Joey's our researcher from Michigan, and it's always great to see Joey. Well, Norm was going to be speaking via Skype, and this conference has been going on for decades.
Well, and it started in Prague in 1972 when it was the first psychotronic conference, international, and I was invited to present my holographic concept of reality. That's where I met Dr. Carl Schleicher. I was already working Seal Corporation, but it was Schleicher that, keyed off of that. My mentor, Dr. Stanley Krippner, did several books with Gordon and Breach and had, like Jack Sarfatti and Robert O. Becker. They were all there, different presenting papers. So it was this was the 17th one.
Yeah, and it was a really interesting conference. Right. And so Rick, you invited me to stay in your room, and so I arrived at the hotel just outside of Chicago, and you met me in the lobby. You happened to be there, and I got a room key, and everything was good, and we went to the room. And,
well, the room key didn't work very well because the battery was going on the lock thing. That was what was the problem.
Yeah, so the battery in the door was not up to par, and they couldn't read the key. So I had two keys, and I couldn't read either of them, so I put them, in forward, in backward, in upside down, right side up. No matter what I did, it couldn't read the key. Cleaned off the key. These are these magnetic card keys. And I couldn't get in the room. And that was okay. But you were doing a presentation, and you were going to grab dinner with some of your fans. And Joey and I decided we were going to go get a pizza. And so we came back to eat the pizza in the room, and we couldn't get in the room because the key didn't work. So I went to the front desk, and I think you had just started your seminar. So we're going to slam down this pizza, race over to your seminar in the hotel, and I couldn't get in the room, and the key didn't work. So I went to the front desk, and I said, I'm having a problem with, this key and this other key, and neither one of them seems to work, forward, backward, upside down, right side up. And I gave him the room number, and he said, I need to see your ID. Yeah, I need an ID. And I said, well, I don't have one. And he said, well, I can't give you a key without an ID. And I said, well, I'll tell you what, all my stuff's in the room. And he said, I can't let you in without an ID. And so he said, well, if we let you in the room, can you give me an ID? And I said, no. And how am I going to present an ID with Rick Miller's name on it, right? So I said, no. And he looked at me like, you don't have an ID? And I said, no, I don't have an ID. And so he said, I'm not going to let you in the room. And I said, that's okay. It's all right. It's okay. Here, take these keys. You keep them. I'm just going to sleep here in the lobby.
It really, the actual night manager is a fan and bought 5 of my books while I was there.
Yeah,
it was really cool. The hotel itself was really cool. Most of the people were really cool. I met a flim-flam guy in the early morning that was trying to knock $145 on my bill. I got it down to $10, but boy, he was trying this way and that, and I'm really glad I woke up early and people can't smell me.
Mm.
Yeah. Was it a morning? This guy talked fast. All the rest of the people were really, really nice. This guy was weird.
Yeah, this must have been the guy that was helping me with the key.
I should say, just give some context. Scott Bulick, that did the conference, is a retired physics teacher, a high school physics teacher. And his father met me in 1974, I think, when I was presenting a paper with the Reverend J. Gordon Melton and the Society for Psychical Research. And that's when I think he started the psychotronic conferences in America, probably around 78, I think. And this was the 17th one. Anyway, I met his father, and so then Scott wanted me to, present this year. And basically, their organization has been going downhill. And what I did is add some life and interest. I met some very, very cool people. There was a biophysicist from Berkeley with her husband from Germany that had been working with Jerry Pollack's work, and she thinks she's found some errors in Jerry's work, and I'm really interested because she's possibly correct, and it is kind of important. My paper that I presented was on structured water, is how psyche enters into matter. I think that it is the structure of water that is so important in the way the universe works and how we create our own reality.
Yeah, and Jerry Pollack is one of our instructors introduced to us by you, Rick. And he talked about structured water right here on the broadcast classroom.
He hired me in 1970 to work in anesthesiology when Boeing went upside down. I used to say 50,000 scientists hit the streets. I vetted that. It was 30,000 physicists and scientists. All were laid off, unemployed in one day when the Boeing lost the B-1 contract. And Jerry was there, immediately hired me. I was really lucky. And that's when my career went from working with Boeing and top secret clearance stuff to working with Seal Corporation and then later MRU. I worked out of anesthesiology. When I no longer worked at the university, they left me laboratories, both there and down in physics. So it was really cool. Nedemeyer was one of the professors in physics. He was number 2 to Oppenheimer and did the trigger for the thing. And Nedemeyer was someone I worked with at the UW back in the early 70s. Interesting.
You're talking about the trigger for the 2 atomic bombs?
Big Boy and Little Bertha, or whatever they were called. Yes.
Yeah.
It was Nedemeyer that did that. He gave me a couple of graduate students, and they did work with me on Kirlian photography and some of Flanagan's stuff on, a pyramid power. And then I did some work with a 360 computer and actually built Project Verify. It will be in a book called Spook Central. Will be on about an artificial intelligent computer that we did with the 360. Had serendipity and synergy. And that's in itself a really interesting story. But, and I'll save that. That's when I did Claremont in 1973 with embryonic holography. I did those 2. And then that's when embryonic holography was classified top secret after I presented it at Claremont to the public. It's interesting. And so the paper that now exists is something I had to write from memory. They actually, even with all my security clearances, took my paper away from me. That's why I wasn't in Talbot's book, because at the time Talbot wrote The Holographic Universe, I was all classified top secret. Carl Pribram and John Bohm, who are normally associated with that, did their work 10 years after mine.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting.
Rick, you're talking about the atomic bombs in Nagasaki and Hiroshima. And, they were called Little Boy. That was the gun-type atomic bomb. And the implosion, the plutonium implosion type was called the Fat Man. And that was dropped over Nagasaki. And just as a point of information, they were detonated about 2,000 feet above Hiroshima, or one of them was. And, killed a lot of people. In all, those 2 bombs killed 20,000 soldiers and 70,000 civilians at Hiroshima. And at Nagasaki, about 80,000 were killed. Total, about 250,000 people were killed with just 2 bombs detonated over the cities. Yep. And when we come back, since we're talking about radiation, let's talk about Fukushima. Oh man, we'll tell you what's going on there. You won't believe it. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Why do over 50% of North Americans suffer from some form of chronic ailment? Could it be due to a toxic overload? It's time to take back your life. Get the lead out as well as the cadmium, mercury, and calcium. Extendovite is a garlic cayenne supplement with 5 other herbs that acts like a natural Drano, cleaning out the stored toxins, restoring your energy and youthfulness that we've lost. If you would like to live your life free of sickness, pain, or fear, Extendovite is for you. Available in either capsules or liquid, you too can see why Extendovite is the #1 heart drop available. To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1 877-928-8822 or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom106.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom, the number 106.com. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom106.com.
Healthy, organic, fresh fish, robust, mouth-watering vegetables, all from your home. It's called aquaponics. This brilliant, self-sustaining protein and veggie system is perfect for year-round growing. Know exactly where your food is coming from. Aquaponicssource.com is the one-stop shop for all your needs. Fish, fish food, plumbing, full systems, classes, and more. Learn to build your own system. Go to aquaponicssource.com for a free guide to aquaponics. That's aquaponicssource.com.
Now, a twice-as-nice Twin Kit special offer from Complete H2O Minerals for all GCN listeners. Get a Complete H2O Minerals Twin Kit with 33 different minerals, vitamins, and amino acids all in a liquid form. Enough for 2 people for 1 month. Regular price $89.95, but now Complete H2O Minerals is offering the Twin Kit for $69.95. And all GCN listeners receive a bonus 16-ounce bottle of Ionic Silver absolutely free with free shipping. A $120 total value. Hurry, limited time offer. Call 803-794-4767 or click CompleteH2OMinerals.com.
Dr. Richard Allen Miller's with us, and if you'd like to look at his book offerings, richardallenmiller.com. That's Richard, A-L-A-N, Miller, M-I-L-L-E-R.com. So, Rick, I've got a page in front of me, mutant flowers from Japan's Fukushima nuclear disaster, and they're daisies. And the center of the, daisies have white petals and kind of a yellow center. And well, they're daisies that are stuck together. They're daisies that are, the yellow centers are stuck together and the petals go out on the right and on the left. They're daisies that are bent over, and they're definitely mutations. And they're saying that not only are flowers mutating, but fruit is deformed, and butterflies are mutant. Probably pretty serious, Rick, because we had a calf born in Rogersville, Missouri, about 40 miles from where we are at the farm, and this cow had 5 legs. And one of his legs was growing out the side of his face. I'm concerned about these mutations. I'm concerned about lots of things. I'm concerned about where are the bees? Where are the insects? Where are the birds?
Basically,
where are the squirrels?
We're starting to see some serious stuff happening with aircraft coming through, in the stratosphere. I posted it on Facebook. By the way, I just sent you an article, and I'm just going to send it right now. It was someone from the conference wrote a really nice description about my work, and have the 2 interviews I did, classic interviews before Mike Hagan retired. One was a 3-hour with Dennis Kucinich, and we drank absinthe. Enjoy that one, man. What's happening is that there are some washers between the bolt and the nut in most aircraft that is somehow affected by the radiation in the stratosphere from Fukushima. And this has been vetted in 7 different science groups with actual planes crashing and a serious upgrade needed in how the plane is made, because this piece of part seemingly rusts and deteriorates in it being exposed to whatever this radiation is from Fukushima. And they have vetted it to Fukushima. The second thing that I did is there's a guy up in the Aleutian Islands going and San Juans that is going down the coast, mostly out of Canada, and he's been taking pictures daily of what's happening to the sea life. And what he has to show is unbelievable. We have a serious problem here. When I came out of Chicago, my plane was evacuated. There was something wrong with it. When I got to I lucked out. I took a different flight, got into San Francisco. I got home about 9 or 10 hours later. My luggage got in, okay, but I had to, and San Francisco also had a delayed flight, not a canceled flight. And I asked the woman in Chicago what their customer service with United, and she said, well, Chicago has, planes canceled every day in Chicago, but she had been noting the increased numbers with no explanation. Basically, the one with my plane was the engine, and when they tried to turn it over, it started making noises big time. So I don't know if it's a budget thing or there's Fukushima, but the media that's coming out now is suggesting it's having an incredible effect on aircraft and our coastline. And there it is, just like we said it would be 2013.
Rick, when I was driving into Chicago in my truck, I noticed that there were a lot of rubber parts on the road, on the highways. And when I was leaving Chicago, I noticed there were a lot of rubber parts on the roads and highways. When we come back, I'll tell you what they were and some of the discussions that we've had about this. And you're right on the money. We'll be right back.
Hey, Berkey Guy here. Are you still drinking unfiltered tap water? Does your water contain chlorine or fluoride? Will you have drinkable water in an emergency? The Berkey Guy is here to help you remove these and other potential contaminants from your water, thus helping you drink clean, purified water. We offer Berkey water purification systems at the lowest available prices online. Don't go another moment without Berkey system. Over the last 10 years, we've helped thousands drink clean, purified water. Join them by visiting goberkey.com or call me, the Berkey Guy, at 877-886-3653. That's 877-886-3653.
We are a survival company. We manufacture our own line of Level 3 and Level 3A body armor. We proudly make our armor 100% in America. We have the best prices in the nation, about $125 cheaper than our nearest competitor. All lab certified, for thou art my rock and my fortress. Psalm 31:3. We are Fortress Survival LLC.com. Identity theft is real. So real, it could be making you its next victim right now. At the gas pump, bank, or store where you shop with your credit card, bad guys with RFID scanners can peer into your wallet or purse from a short distance away, stealing information from your RFID-enabled credit or debit cards, passports, room keys, and ID cards without you even knowing it. Stop the bad guys now with an RFID blocking wallet from ID Stronghold. ID Stronghold founded the entire RFID blocking industry over 10 years ago. Their stylish sleeves, clutch purses, and wallets are shielded throughout. The best you can buy at great pricing, as low as $14.99. Don't wait until your wallet needs replacing. Protect your identity now. Click idstronghold.com or call 1-800-610-2770. That's 1-800-610-2770. ID Stronghold, the original RFID wallet company.
Healthy elimination is essential to high energy, a cheerful mood, and prevention of disease. Some of the founders of our modern holistic health thinking state that disease begins in a toxic colon. A toxic intestinal tract is the foundation for virtually all degenerative disease, and a clean and well-moving intestinal tract is the foundation of health.
I just want to say that you folks have an amazing product. I've taken whey protein products for years, and I've never noticed the results I have with your product. I've suffered with bouts of constipation most of my life. Within a few days of taking One World Whey, I noticed a dramatic change. Also, in the past few years, I've experienced symptoms associated with diabetes. I feel horrible when I've had too much sugar, and I've been getting the foot pain as well. But I've noticed in the past week or so, I'm not feeling bad anymore, and the foot pain is gone. I'm just finishing up a 5-pound tub I ordered and just got off the phone ordering more. I love your product. Thank you.
Call 888-988-3325. That's 888-988-3325. Or visit oneworldwhey.com. That's oneworld.com.
Did you know that drinking pure, high-alkaline water is one of the most important factors in maintaining high energy and vibrant health? Most experts agree that the water you drink should be at a pH level of 8 or higher. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops, available only at alkavision.com, combine a unique formula of only the most alkaline minerals. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops alkalize your water, ridding the body of harmful toxins, and helps you regain health and energy. Alkalizing your water by simply adding 10 drops of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops helps the body rid itself of acidic waste, increases oxygen content, and raises the pH of your body to healthy levels. And bacteria and viruses cannot survive in an alkaline high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops for only $29.95 at alkavision.com. That's ALKAvision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com today.
I'm Vincent Finelli of USAPrepares.com. As most of you know, I broadcast weekday mornings on GCN from 9 to 11. And I'm also a full-time farmer. Add to that mix the weekly meetups and the Get Prepared Expo, and this combination makes for a demanding schedule. On the farm, we raise grass-fed Black Angus cattle and provide them with the best variety of summer and fall grasses available. Our cattle are exposed to the extremes of weather, the toxins in the air, and the electromagnetic radiation that's all around us. So even the best grasses and food that we provide are not enough. Our cattle require minerals and supplements for strong health and resistance to disease. And so do we. For these reasons, my mother, our children, Mrs. Finelli, and I all take longevity beyond Tangy Tangerine, De-Stress, Glucogel, and EFA+. USAPreparesTeam.com. And thank you for being in class today. Richard Allen Miller's with us. Dr. Richard Allen Miller. Rick, I noticed that there were a lot of rubber parts on the roads leading to Chicago, leading from Chicago, as I traveled in the truck to the conference last weekend. And I mentioned that you could see these chunks of rubber along the highway in the lanes and off on the shoulders, left and right shoulders, for the entire trip. And these rubber parts are chunks of tires. They are pieces of hoses and pieces of belts, rubber belts. And I mentioned this, and also that we had hydraulic failures and hydraulic hose failures at a record rate here on the farm. And it's driving us crazy. I was on the phone with Sam Bushman, and he said, "So how's it going, brother?" And I said, "Well, the faster I work, the less I get done." And we're having a lot of these failures. And I happened to stop at the John Deere dealership a couple times and other dealerships to get some parts. And I noticed that they were so overwhelmed with repairs that they hardly had any time to even talk to us. Literally. And they really didn't seem interested in helping us. And I'm talking about a couple different dealerships and different brands. And here's what I'm seeing. Let me just give you an example. We have a 10-year-old Mercedes in the family. It's not ours. It's one of our children's. And it has a hydraulic suspension system. And this is, has failed 4 times, previous to the current failure, which is now the 5th time. And we're ripping this hydraulic suspension system out. We've taken the shock absorbers, which are hydraulic, shock absorbers that load leveling kind of shocks. We've taken them all out and replaced them with the old-fashioned type to undo this great engineering that Mercedes did, because we can't keep this vehicle on the road. And what's happening is that the rubber hoses just keep blowing and leaking hydraulic fluid. And the hydraulic fluid is $20 a quart. So it's unsustainable. So we rip that out. We have a small 40 horsepower John Deere tractor, and we've had to replace all of the front end loader hoses because every single one of them has failed. We have an international tractor. We had to replace the power steering line because it failed. The tires on our tractors are cracking. They used to call them ozone cracks. Well, they're cracking. We have another John Deere tractor, a 100 horsepower tractor, and the clutch line, which is a rubber hose, has failed. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. I'm just giving you, some of the easy to explain failures that we have. And this is the same thing that we're seeing on the highways. We're seeing these parts, the evidence of these rubber part failures. Now, the common thread, there are a couple common threads in these failures as I see it. One is all of these rubber hoses, tires, and belts have reinforcing. Sometimes it's nylon. Sometimes it's a poly type reinforcing. Sometimes it's steel, stainless steel. So these hoses have stainless steel braid inside them, or stainless steel fabric, or stainless steel threads. The tires are steel belted, and the belts, as well. When you look at that, I'm wondering if these pieces of metal that are embedded in the rubber products are acting like antennas and picking up the electromagnetic radiation and causing these failures. I'm wondering if it's that plus the ultraviolet light plus the radiation from all of this man-made destruction that we've unleashed on the planet. But what I'm saying is these rubber parts are failing at what I would consider an increasing rate. And it's not good. And so the answer that some people are thinking is, well, I'll just get a new car and, I won't have these problems. Really? I don't think that's the case either. I think that they're going to have even more problems because the newer cars are running at even higher temperatures. It's just that everything's new and it'll last for a while. But over time, I think they're going to be harder to fix. Trying to fix a new car is like impossible. Rick, what are your thoughts?
Well, there's no question the aircraft is having problems with radiation. Obviously, the weather, when I came home, we were in triple digits again. This is unbelievable. World records, hottest in history in terms of, I don't know, in the rubber, when it meets the road, like Yellowstone, where it was 158 degrees, where the asphalt melted last week. That is about ready to go. I think that geoengineering, when I was in Chicago, I was looking at the trees around the hotel, and there was die-off. They have oak dye like we do. And that was discussed in What in the World Are They Spraying? Dr. Lenny Time and other Forest Service are out in the woods to show it. And I did panels like Norm Shealy, and have barium and aluminum oxide poisoning. And so I started taking, I called Matt Stein. Matt has a friend from Russia that is marketing a product. I'm putting my glasses on because I started taking it yesterday when I got back. Dell has been doing it for 4 days, and she said she's already feeling a difference. This is called Modafillin. It's a pure brown seaweed extract. And all your seaweeds, bioremediate heavy metals out of the body. I think that turmeric is also something I'm going to start taking. I think I got that from Grace Thorne. She bought something from Dr. Norm Shealy that I think was called curcumin, which is mostly turmeric. And so these are the two supplements that I'm doing now for geoengineering. What you're going to do for radiation sickness most likely will be fullerene water with exclusion zone water, and they call it fullerene water, where they use an exclusion zone water, H3O2, inside the molecule. And it acts as a microtubule and identifies and goes after heavy metals and ionizing radiation. They did some studies. There are 12 studies so far. Mostly they started them in Ukraine and Russia. And basically what they're doing is they give lethal doses of radiation to rats and then feed them the fullerene water with a 95% recovery. And it's reproducible. Now, with that said, let the buyer beware, because to make fullerene waters is not that easy. And so what we're really talking about is structured water, like a homeopathy, where you put a small amount of it in a large water and it changes the structure of the water. Fullerenes are this, it's an allotrope of carbon that's 100 times stronger than diamond. And the status is 1.4 nanometers between atoms, and so you can just put an H3O2 molecule inside the thing, and it forms nanotubes. And you can buy this. There's several places you can get it for radiation sickness, should that start to be an issue. According to this guy up in Canada, it is an issue. And I would say that triple digits on the West Coast here is probably going to be really hard on everything, rubber.
Yeah.
So there it is.
And
I don't know.
We're really seeing it here.
Yeah.
We're seeing animals that can't take the heat. With all the geoengineering, it really has reduced the temperature that we're experiencing, because when they stop flying, the skies clear up. And the sun's rays really pierce through and drill through it.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Chicago is just as bad. My boys, that's from Chicago, and me speaking a lot, but really, I have congestion. I had congestion there, and the way is, I couldn't live there. I liked the people a lot. I really did, but I couldn't live there.
No, I couldn't live there either. And I'll tell you what I saw, Rick. As Joey and I drove in his truck, we looked through the area, and we saw a lot of cell towers, a lot of transmitting antennas.
They're everywhere.
I mean, everywhere. Literally everywhere. And it was oppressive. It really was oppressive. And I had headache after headache after headache, and I don't get them here on the farm. I had them because I was in the truck, and I was followed by the cops with their radar guns blasting me.
Yeah.
And that gives me a headache within a couple seconds. We
were in what they call a suburb of Chicago, which is really very nice, because when James Janzik came in to visit the last day, the dark night of radio in Chicago, he said, "This is not Chicago. Chicago is really, really slummy now. It's like Detroit." He said it's gone downhill seriously. Downtown.
That's too bad. Mm-hmm. That really is too bad.
Well,
I know.
It's like too many people. There's a lot of people there. The place, I couldn't live there. There were like pockets of, Koreans and Japanese and, communities. The Korean, where we were, was mostly Korean, and I think it was like 4 or 5 miles square. that community of Koreans. Just Chicago.
Rick, when you talk about Chicago on the decline, I know of a person who told me firsthand that a window blew out of the building that he worked in and fell to the street below and killed a woman. The glass from a window that just blew out. It just wasn't secured properly. We'll be right. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration system and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
You are an individual with your own thoughts, decisions, and actions. So why should you be penalized for not enrolling in the subpar health insurance mandated by the government when you can be truly independent with Liberty Health Share, a bold, innovative alternative, allowing you to take back control and make your own decisions about your health care? Mention this ad when you call to learn more. 800-714-6993. That's 800-714-6993. Liberty Health Share. Together, we are one.
Virtually anyone can hack your cell phone and track your calls, your texts, your emails, your every movement, but only if they can detect a signal. Stay one step ahead of hackers and Big Brother with a Block-It Pocket, a custom-made pocket infused with pure silver that creates a complete Faraday enclosure for your cell phone. For free shipping to the lower 48, visit blockitpocket.com or call 888-315-9618. blockitpocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
Identity theft is real. So real, it could be making you its next victim right now. At the gas pump, bank, or store where you shop with your credit card, bad guys with RFID scanners can peer into your wallet or purse from a short distance away, stealing information from your RFID-enabled credit or debit cards, passports, room keys, and ID cards without you even knowing it. Stop the bad guys now with an RFID blocking wallet from ID Stronghold. ID Stronghold founded the entire RFID blocking industry over 10 years ago. Their stylish sleeves, clutch purses, and wallets are shielded throughout. The best you can buy at great pricing, as low as $14.99. Don't wait until your wallet needs replacing. Protect your identity now. Click IDStronghold.com or call 1-800-610-2770. That's 1-800-610-2770. ID Stronghold, the original RFID wallet company.
Everyone says or does something silly once in a while. Even very smart, very accomplished people. It's part of being human. A quote taken out of context, a legal problem, an unfortunate photograph. Once that embarrassing thing is on the internet, it can spread like a terrible rash because people love to dig up dirt, even when it's not real dirt. Put it to rest. Call for a free expert analysis today from Reputation.com. It only takes 30 seconds. 800-831-0771. Businesses, public figures, and professionals turn to Reputation.com for good reason. We protect your online image by helping make sure that when people search for you or your business, they find the most current, accurate information possible. Reputation.com, because word travels fast. Learn more about what the experts at Reputation.com can do for you. Call for a free analysis today. 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771.
Hi, this is Steve Spillum for Midas Resources. In 1971, President Nixon took the United States off the gold standard and put us into a fiat currency. This allowed Congress and the Federal Reserve to create trillions of dollars out of thin air. The national debt has risen to incredible heights, and your hard-earned dollars by a small fraction of what they once did. The average life expectancy for a fiat currency is 27 years. The dollar is failing and on borrowed time. When currencies fall, people turn to gold and silver because gold and silver have been real money for more than 5,000 years. It is our mission at Midas Resources to help you preserve your capital. Don't let your personal savings shrink to nothing. For important free information on how you can protect your personal wealth, Contact me, Steve Spillum, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 308. Call today while we are still accepting dollars for gold and silver. 1-800-686-2237, extension 308. Make a change in your financial security today. That's 1-800-686-2237, extension 308.
Rick, I want to share something with you, and we're going to be talking more about this with Miles tomorrow. Miles from the European Union. He's been listening to some of my comments about the failures of hoses and hydraulic cylinders and so forth, and we're going to be doing a special about what is going on tomorrow and the experiences that he's having in the farms in Europe, and same experiences. So, Rick, here's something that I've been working on. I've been a gearhead for a long time. I used to race cars back in the 1970s, and I raced them on the track, and I'd build engines and so forth. And this, before the trip to Chicago, I changed the thermostat in this 2004 Chevy pickup truck. And it's a bare bones pickup truck. There's nothing fancy about it. It's got rubber mats, no carpeting. It's got crank up windows. It does have air conditioning. And it has a 6-cylinder 4.3 liter V6. And what I did was I took out the 195 degree thermostat and I put in a 180 degree thermostat. And I tested it and everything was fine here. And it ran at 180 degrees just as it should. Well, as I got on the highway, in Missouri, it ran perfectly at 180 degrees. As I got closer to Chicago and as the roads became darker, meaning tar roads rather than concrete roads, black roads rather than a tan-colored concrete, the heat from the roads was hotter. The ambient temperature near Chicago was hotter than in the countryside. And the temperature kept climbing and climbing and climbing until it got to about 195 degrees engine temperature with a 180 degree thermostat. That should not be the case. What I'm saying, Rick, is I believe, and I may be wrong, but I don't think so. I believe that the cooling systems of the equipment that we have built previously, now this truck was built in 2004, it has a small engine, 4.3 liter V6. A lot of room under the hood for air to circulate and cool the engine. I mean, a lot of room compared to most cars today. Well, the engine, the radiator, and the cooling system could not cool that engine down to 180 degrees as the thermostat would make the temperature. So what I'm saying is I believe that the environment is now hotter. It's hotter and it's taxing our cooling systems on our vehicles and our trucks and our machinery. And I don't think it's a good sign. I think what's going to happen is we're going to have more failures. So as we have these vehicles that have less airspace around the engines, hotter under the hood temperatures, I expect we're going to see more failures. That's just my conclusion, connecting the dots from my experience previously racing cars, building race engines and so forth, working on the farm, and reading. What do you think, Rick?
I think that we are world-changing weather, and the Earth is heating up.
And what I'm saying is this is anecdotal evidence of just that.
Well, there it is. We've had triple digits for 3 different weeks, for weeks at a time here in Southern Oregon, and all the wells around where I live are pulling sand.
Mm-hmm. I don't know too many people who have more energy than Mrs. Finelli, seriously. And she's been out on the tractors, out on the farm, raking and tedding hay and those kinds of things, and getting on the four-wheeler and checking the cows, and she comes back and she says, I'm shot. I'm worn out. The heat is really having an effect. And it's not just her. It's everybody. It's young people. I know a lot of young farmers. I'm talking farmers let's say in their very early 20s. They're saying the same thing. the heat is getting to them. And, if it's not raining, it's too hot. That's a huge problem. It's a huge problem for our food supply. It's a huge problem for everyone. It really is. And let's talk a little bit more about that when we come back after these top-of-the-hour news and commercial announcements. Dr. Richard Allen Miller's with us, and he's presented a series called Sustainable Lifeboats. And that's what we need to talk about, because we need to know what to do in order to survive. Coming up next, hour number 2 with Dr. Richard Allen Miller, richardallenmiller.com. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
KDArmor.com is your one-stop shop for the most affordable body armor, period. With packages starting at $169.99 and free shipping on every order. KD offers soft armor and rifle threat rated armor up to level 4. Go to KDArmor.com and get your body armor today while you still can. Mention this ad and receive a free tactical scarf for a limited time with any body armor package. That's CATIarmor.com. Come and take it.
Everyone says or does something silly once in a while, but once that embarrassing thing is on the internet, it can spread like a terrible rash. Put it to rest. Get a free expert analysis today from Reputation.com. It only takes 30 seconds. 800-831-0771. We protect your online image by helping to make sure that when people search for you or your business, they find the most current, accurate information possible. Reputation.com, because word travels fast. Call for a free analysis today. 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771.
We the people grow cotton, weave fabric, engrave ink, embed strips and fibers to protect from counterfeit and carting to a private bank, having it lent back at interest, forcing taxes to service debt. This capitalism, or was Jefferson correct when stating a central bank issuing the public currency is a greater menace to the liberties of the people than a standing army? Ted Anderson, I'm placing a free silver dollar in a book that explains our monetary system. Call for your copy, 800-686-2237. It's time to understand the system. Call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
Healthy, organic, fresh fish, robust, mouth-watering vegetables, all from your home. It's called aquaponics. This brilliant, self-sustaining protein and veggie system is perfect for year-round growing. Know exactly where your food is coming from. Aquaponicssource.com is the one-stop shop for all your needs. Fish, fish food, plumbing, full systems, classes, and more. Learn to build your own system. Go to aquaponicssource.com for a free guide to aquaponics. That's aquaponicssource.com.
Everyone all set, cocked, locked. Hour number 2 of USAPrepares.com with Dr. Richard Allen Miller. You know, Rick, we were talking about engine temperatures, under hood space, under hood temperatures increasing. Top of the hour news. Just a few seconds ago, we heard that Fiat Chrysler is experiencing underhood fires. And that's when the engine covers come in contact with the hot exhaust. Now, I've got a comment about this. We have a 1994 truck here at the farm, and it had an engine cover on it, and I bought this truck used. The first thing I did was take the engine cover off. And what I'm talking about is this piece of plastic that sits on top of the engine to protect it from I don't know what. But it's the dumbest idea I've ever seen.
I love
because
you. You're so funny. I love the way you describe things like that.
well, Rick, I mean,
Vincent, truly.
Rick, this 6.5 liter turbo diesel has this GM, it's I guess it's fashion, under the hood fashion. So when you look at, you pop the hood and you show your friends, hey, you want to see my engine? You can see this cover that covers the engine and it keeps the heat in. What an idiotic design. Yeah. So I took that off. Okay. I've got it hanging on the wall, in the garage in case I ever want to put it back on. I can't imagine why, but in case if I ever sell it and someone says, hey, where's the engine cover? Oh, okay, it's right here. You can have this. Yeah. But I've taken it off. They're on Mercedes vehicles. They're on a whole bunch of vehicles, and every single vehicle that had an engine cover, that we own, the engine cover, I've taken them off. It's idiotic. I mean, someone would have to explain to me why you would have this piece of plastic saying what the engine cubic inch displacement or the displacement in liters is, and whether it's a V6, a V8, a V10, a V12, whatever it may be, and whether it's turbocharged. I mean, it makes no sense. Rick, your 280Z doesn't have one, does it?
No. It's also made from metal, not plastic. I love old-fashioned cars. It does have an electronic ignition, poop. However, I still can run alcohol in it. If I have a coronal mass ejection that fries things, I'm down for the count, but,
Well, when you say electronic,
ignition, does it have, I have a blower and, fuel injection.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so that, and it's not mechanical injection on that vehicle?
No,
it's electronic?
I have an injection system that came out in 76, and why that little 280Z for the little price that it cost when it came out won the steeplechase up Pikes Peak. The fastest car in the world, even over a Hemi. Back then, it was light. It was, my car is running, I think, something around 2,100 pounds. Took the bumpers off, and I have special shocks. I don't use Coney. I had them designed special. I can go in dry weather. I can go into a four-wheel drift with complete control.
Mm-hmm.
Does it have water? It isn't a pleasure to drive that car. It invites you to drive it.
Mm-hmm. So you don't get in it. You wear it.
That's exactly correct. It's like my hat. It's my logo. When I restored it, I restored my body, and I put a knee in. I put a panel in over there. Now the 280Z had a problem, and this is where you're going to find all your cars are going to have a problem. Will be with water and your heater, and having to clean that radiator with antifreeze. As the weather is changing, this will be the weak spot on most vehicles. Cooling.
Yeah, and let's talk about something that you can do as a preparedness fix.
If you put oil, like Redline oil, in your car, you theoretically never have to replace that oil where you do with Pennzoil and the rest of it. It's made with jojoba. It doesn't break down at high speeds, and so it's mostly about cleaning the engine. Redline oil is also $12 a can. But I put it in my Z, high performance, you betcha.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the cooling system.
Alcohol, it won't have the zip that it does with high octane, but then the driver, me, doesn't have quite the zip it used to have either, so it's all good.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about this 280Z. If you go into a four-wheel drift, do you have waterproof seats?
No, it doesn't like snow. It doesn't like water. That's a fact.
Yeah, I was thinking. Thinking about it.
It's so light that it doesn't have that kind of traction. However, at 300,000 miles on that engine right now, I have less than a quarter of a pound variation across each port.
Interesting. Well, Rick, one of the things that I thought we should mention as a fix. When our son and I were driving across the Appalachian Mountains, pulling with a Cummins turbo diesel 3/4 ton pickup truck, we had a gooseneck trailer behind us, a 26-foot gooseneck trailer, and sometimes we would put big tractor on there, a lot of heavy equipment, and we'd be going uphill. I noticed when the temperature was 57 degrees outside, I would get a running start up some of these long hills in the mountains. And by the time I got to the top of the hill, I might be doing 27 miles an hour. Now, what I'm talking about is foot to the floor, maximum torque, the most that this Cummins turbo diesel could deliver. A 1999 Dodge Cummins turbo diesel, pretty powerful diesel engine for its time. Well, it would run really hot. We would literally, at 57 degrees outside, we would open up the windows in the truck, turn the heater on full blast, maximum heat to dump more heat from the engine into the cab and have it go out the windows, as well as, clean the radiator before we went on any of these trips from Virginia to Missouri. And the temperature on the engine would still hit red line. And what we found was there was a very simple fix to all this. And that is something that you can add to your cooling system called water wetter. Water wetter. And it's about $10 for a small canister of it. And it makes water wetter than water is normally wet. And it allows the water to transfer heat from the engine through the cooling system, and it allows the cooling system to better transfer the heat to the air outside and cool your engine. So if you're having an experience with overheating, and your cooling system is flushed and cleaned and all that, and you're still having a problem with it, you may want to try water wetter. And have you ever experienced that, Rick?
I have. I use Grace's truck, for example, out here with triple digits and things like that, has had to, she's having cooling problems right now. I think that's what no, I haven't used water wetter. Never done that. What I am going to recommend is that you open up your radiator draft. You can bring air in from other places like they do with a fuel injection. We have an extra scoop up on the top of the hood to cool the engine more, etc. There's lots of things you can do. I just, I flush my radiator more frequently than most.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Rick, we've got Miles, USA Preparedness Senior Instructor. Welcome, Miles.
Good morning, gentlemen. Hello, Dr. Rick. How are you doing?
I'm recovering from Chicago. My voice is about gone from the mucus, but I'm good, thank you. And they all said, he's back. I have the energy I used to.
I just tuned in, and I was wondering why your voice sounded like a sack of nuts.
Well, there it is. It's, I had it when I was in Chicago. The air, all of it just created a bunch of mucus. And so now I'm getting it out of my system as I get back here to a more drier environment.
We are witnessing for 3 years now that in coming summer, the children and the seniors have pneumonia because of what's raining down here on us. It's even the doctors are stuck with that here. So, but why I'm calling in because Vincent wanted to know why these stupid engineers invented the covers. In fact, there is here in Europe a European Union guideline that engines have to have the engine cover, that insurance companies do not have to adjust that many claims that result out of Martin bites in the rubber hoses and in the under pressure systems. That's why they tight the engine covers of European models pretty tight and put even rubber seals that no rat or no Martin can go into there and bite the rubber hoses up.
I had
Miles.
a cat that used to like to sit on top of my hood in the cold of winter and left paw prints. And it was pissing me off, and what I did is I put a electrostatic generator to my car, and the cat never went back on that car again. Well, you can
Miles?
set up all kinds of ways to keep varmints out of your vehicle. You're
So,
right
Miles,
about the rats. I've seen that out in the country. And now we have pack rats, I guess, right here in Grants Pass. I didn't think they were this far south, but I guess we
You have them all
rats.
over the United States, the pack rats.
Well, Miles, do you want to hold through the break and tell us some more?
Sure, I hold through.
Okay. Dr. Richard Allen Miller's with us. Miles in Europe is with us, and we're talking about these engine covers. And, wow, I didn't know it was for rats. Imagine that. And mice. And birds. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration system and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
The Genesis Communications Network is one of America's premier broadcasters of captivating talk radio. We thank you for listening. Now, just imagine, there are thousands of people who are just as passionate about radio as you are. But what you may not realize is how easy and affordable it is to advertise with us. Radio commercials for your business could be heard on hundreds of radio stations across the U.S. every day. We can help you by creating an effective radio advertising campaign for your company. From script writing to producing your commercial, just like the one you're listening to right now. No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
Usually, the older one gets, the less you are able to absorb amino acids and the less you are able to repair the 100 trillion cells of your body. As a result, you'll have less energy, your tissues will shrink, and you'll become wrinkled. An older person will typically injure more easily and heal more slowly. Not fun. However, if you can consume a protein powder that is easier to absorb, then you may be able to gain back some strength, muscle, and speed of recovery. One World Whey is a highly digestible whey protein powder that may be the perfect answer for you.
My name is Errol. I'm 74 years old. You know, the taste of One World Whey is amazing. I play pickleball, and since taking One World Whey and your trace mineral supplement, I have more energy and recover faster from my working out. I used to take another grass-fed whey protein powder, but now I'm getting much better results using One World Whey.
Call 888-988-3325. That's 888-988-3325. Or visit oneworldway.com.
KDArmor.com is your one-stop shop for the most affordable body armor, period. With packages starting at $169.99 and free shipping on every order. KD offers soft armor and rifle threat rated armor up to level 4. Go to KDArmor.com and get your body armor today while you still can. Mention this ad and receive a free tactical scarf for a limited time with any body armor package. That's CATIarmor.com. Come and take it.
Now, a twice as nice Twin Kit special offer from Complete H2O Minerals for all GCN listeners. Get a Complete H2O Minerals Twin Kit with 33 different minerals, vitamins, and amino acids all in a liquid form. Enough for 2 people for 1 month. Regular price $89.95, but now Complete H2O Minerals is offering the Twin Kit for $69.95. And all GCN listeners receive a bonus 16-ounce bottle of Ionic Silver absolutely free with free shipping. A $120 total value. Hurry, limited time offer. Call 803-794-4767 or click CompleteH2OMinerals.com.
Dr. Richard Allen Miller is with us, and Miles is with us, Senior USA Preparedness Instructor from Europe. So, Miles, you were saying that, if I understood this correctly, that because of insurance companies, they applied pressure to put covers on these engines to keep varmints out from eating the hoses, the wires, and so forth. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. I myself had that 3 times with one car in the city. The Martins live in the city, and they chew up everything they like that tastes like good rubber.
A marten is like a ferret. It's like a ferret?
Yep.
We have, I think, those kinds of varmints, but not really. We have squirrel and rabbit and whatever, but they don't do that as much. Rats don't do that as much. Pack rats usually get inside your house between the walls and things like that. And if they
let me tell you this, Dr. Rick.
Or do something weird, you have to take the wall down to get them out because they smell.
Yes.
Well, that's in country,
What I had is a couple of rats that try to survive the engine heat after the engine was fired up, and they literally chewed the rubber that they could get to. They chewed them through because there was no way to escape the heat, and then they cooked to life. That's
weird. That's interesting. Yeah,
Miles, we have rats here and mice that will go into the barn and they will hop under the hoods. So what we do is we keep the hoods open in the barn. It seems to encourage them not to set up housekeeping under the hood of vehicles. But do you find that the engine covers are a deterrent? Is it worth the increase in wear and deterioration of the hoses due to the extra heat, or is it a good thing or a bad thing?
It depends on what kind of engine you have in your vehicle. A diesel has its optimal operation temperature, and you should check with your manufacturer in order to find out what that is, and then you can adjust your fluids and the hoses to it, as well as you can take the covers, the engine covers away. These are all options. But what I wanted to share with you is the heat problem is not a new problem, and Dr. Rick might know, and you might know better than I, that in the 70s, when the automatic transmissions became so much publicity in the automotive industry, they used whale oil. We call it walrut here, in order to cool the transmission down, because
that's interesting. Yeah.
That whale oil had one unique specification that no oil manufacturer could match to this day. It had 48 carbon molecules in a chain.
The jojoba bean and there's another one. What is it that they're making Castrol and the Redline oils from now? Are for jet engines and rockets. Yep. And it doesn't break down at like 1,200 degrees. It's like, that's why it's also very expensive. It's not a refined process, it's something else. And
you actually can make that for cheap for yourself, or you can upgrade your oil to that. This is an invention of Dr. Landis, Philip S. Landis, he was the inventor of Mobile One, by the way. And what he did, he went after a World War II German patent, and he turned that into a product line in the United States. It's called the so-called liquid wax esters. Liquid wax esters. And this is what the Redline oil, with the jojoba or made out of canola, is being upgraded with. So the carbon molecule is going up to 44. Carbon molecules in a chain, and the heat exchange rate and the longevity and the ability of reducing friction is incredible.
The shungite that's coming out that they use for filters now, and everybody's all rushing, darling at it, is actually an allotrope of carbon that is 60 molecules. It's full of fullerene. And that fullerene molecule is 100 times stronger than diamond. They're currently manufacturing it for the so-called space elevator. It'll be strong enough it can stay in the gravitational fields and touch our satellites.
Hold that thought, Rick. Miles, would you like to stay with us?
We've been patiently waiting while you tried to ignore us, waiting while you acted like we didn't exist, waiting for our chance to be taken seriously. The wait is over. GCN is available 24/7 at GCNlive.com. Navigate through news from your favorite hosts and download archives of past shows. Download the app on your smartphone or tablet or visit GCNlive.com for instant access and live streaming. GCNlive.com, the future of talk radio, now at your fingertips.
We the people grow cotton, weave fabric, engrave ink, embed strips and fibers to protect from counterfeit, then carting to a private bank, having it led back at interest, forcing taxes to service debt. This capitalism, or was Jefferson correct when stating a central bank issuing the public currency is a greater menace to the liberties of the people than a standing army? Hi, Ted Anderson. I'm placing a silver dollar in a book explains our monetary system. Call for your copy, 800-686-2237. It's time to understand the system. Call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
Many are in disbelief today after word of shocking allegations against a Minnesota-based talk syndication company known as GCN. It's claimed that they're the fourth largest talk syndication company in the U.S., making it even more scandalous that they've been accused of helping business owners expose themselves on a massive scale. Let's go live to Tom for more on this story.
It's being called the greatest exposure of our lifetime, while other business owners are beginning to step forward claiming they too exposed themselves with the help of GCN.
It's true. They're all guilty. Every last one of them. GCN helped me get the exposure my company needed, and just think, that was years ago. Today, GCN has like 700 affiliate stations and over 6 million downloads from iTunes and their website every month.
Imagine the exposure your company can get. Expose your business to the masses. Email advertise@GCNlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective. GCN.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows. Pause and rewind live TV. Even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
I'm Vincent Finelli of USAPrepares.com. As most of you know, I broadcast weekday mornings on GCN from 9 to 11. And I'm also a full-time farmer. Add to that mix the weekly meetups and the Get Prepared Expo, and this combination makes for a demanding schedule. On the farm, we raise grass-fed Black Angus cattle and provide them with the best variety of summer and fall grasses available. Our cattle are exposed to the extremes of weather, the toxins in the air, and the electromagnetic radiation that's all around us. So even the best grasses and food that we provide are not enough. Our cattle require minerals and supplements for strong health and resistance to disease. And so do we. For these reasons, my mother, our children, Mrs. Finelli, and I all take Longevity, Beyond Tangy Tangerine, De-Stress, Glucogel, and EFA+. USAPreparesTeam.com. And thank you for being in class today.
Healthy elimination is essential to high energy, a cheerful mood, and prevention of disease. Some of the founders of our modern holistic health thinking state that disease begins in a toxic colon. A toxic intestinal tract is the foundation for virtually all degenerative disease, and a clean and well-moving intestinal tract is the foundation of health.
I just want to say that you folks have an amazing product. I've taken whey protein products for years, and I've never noticed the results I have with your product. I've suffered with bouts of constipation most of my life. Within a few days of taking One World Whey, I noticed a dramatic change. Also, in the past few years, I've experienced symptoms associated with diabetes. I feel horrible when I've had too much sugar, and I've been getting the foot pain as well. But I've noticed in the past week or so, I'm not feeling bad anymore, and the foot pain is gone. I'm just finishing up a 5-pound tub I ordered and just got off the phone ordering more. I love your product. Thank you.
Call 888-988-3325. That's 888-988-3325. Or visit oneworldway.com. That's oneworld.com.
Class, we're talking about oils, overheating problems, engine covers, and what to do about it. Rick Miller's with us. Miles from Europe is with us, and Miles and I are going to be talking about this tomorrow during the broadcast for an hour. And Miles, you mentioned LubeGuard, LubeGuard. I looked it up on the internet, and this is a fascinating technology because from what I'm reading, they have a product that you add to your automatic transmission fluid, and it can reduce the operating temperature of your automatic transmission by up to 40 degrees Fahrenheit through the more efficient transfer of heat to the cooling system of the automatic transmission. And my understanding is that heat is one of the top enemies of a long life automatic transmission. Is that right?
That's absolutely correct. You have the situation that this technology of the so-called monoester wax or liquid wax ester. It was a German invention in World War II. They invented that because they had problems with Me-262 with a fighter plane that Messerschmitt constructed. So they were the first one. They used wax made out of linseed oils and to upgrade the oil to withstand these high temperatures in the turbines, in the first generation turbines there. So Dr. Landis was the one who used the basics and the fundament of that patent of these World War II patents, and he developed that liquid ester, monoester, in the 70s, 75, because in 72 there was the first. The whales could not be shut down in the oceans as they used to. So what happened was the oil industry had to use normal mineral oil as an ATF, the first ones, and the cooling and the exchange rate of heat transfer and the pressure withstanding, as well as the oxidational withstanding that an oil needs to have, wasn't there anymore. And so simply just a number here, between in 1975, 8 million automatic transmission in the United States failed just because of going back to a not optimal oil.
So are we talking about the oil that we would call Dexron, Dexron, changing to Dexron 2? Is that the nomenclature?
Yes, what they did is they used now boron and in Dextron 2 and beginning with Dextron 3, they used zinc and other micro metal particles in order to have the better heat transfer in the radiators. But that used to clog them up when the oil started gumming up through oxidation and through thermal reduction. It started gumming up, and even then that had a problem. So you measure a good ATF today on its amount of boron inside. Or the other benchmark is if they're using ester waxes in the oil. This is another quality criteria for engine oil and hydraulic oil as well as ATF.
This is all really interesting because, Detroit, which doesn't exist anymore per se, used to design things for Mopar so that they had a planned obsolescence of wearing out on purpose so they could replace parts. It was the difference between when they were making things with steel and DeLoreans. It's the changing world.
Well, I know the former chief engineer of Mopar. He is now he has his own company, or a company that is upgrading Jeeps, and it was very interesting to talk to him because he was introduced to a solution that would save Chrysler $12 million in guarantee repairs only by flushing the hydraulic system, the ATF hydraulic system, with a special tool where they would have less customer claims and they would make more money. They declined that, and shortly after that, Fiat took over that entire thing.
Miles, that's something that I'd like to address tomorrow, if it's all right with you, about flushing our automatic transmission systems, flushing our engines, how to change the oil, what fluids to use, because cars are getting really, really expensive, and repairs are absolutely unaffordable. An automatic transmission repair is about $2,000 here in the United States. And that's not anything serious. I mean, that's just, having your automatic transmission repaired with, changing the fluid. I'm convinced that we can make our machines last longer with proper maintenance. I really am. But all oil is not the same. All oil filters are not the same. And, I'm concerned that too many of us are trusting our vehicles to these quick lubrication places where you can have your oil changed within a couple minutes, but that doesn't completely change the oil. That changes some of the oil. There's still too much left in the engine when you do that, according to my way of thinking. Do you agree with that?
Well, I partially agree with that because here it depends on the make and the model and whether you drain the oil out of the car and or whether you pump it out of the sump. So even here there are different approaches to that. I prefer the draining of the oil and then flushing the engine. I exchange oil twice. So what I do is when I change the oil, I get the oil, I drain the oil out on the bottom through the sump, through the pan, and then I have another oil just for cleaning purposes, just to run through the engine for approximately 10 working hours, and then I drain that oil again, and in comes then the fully synthetic oil, and sometimes, especially. We do that here in mountain surroundings, and that we upgrade the oil with ester waxes because it allows you to have better starting habits and a higher curve of performance for the engine oil as well in deeper temperatures as well as in hotter surroundings.
You are also Swiss, not American. That's wonderful. I think we have a lot to learn. That's why everybody calls us ignorant and ill-informed. Thank you, really. This is important information because at some point, it's junkyards. They're going to be important.
They are right now. Let me share just, if I may, Vincent. It's
sure.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
I have the same car that Vincent has, just a smaller engine. And being in the salt belt, having the car disposed to calcium chloride, magnesium chloride, and and natrium chloride here in the winter situations. I was working on the rear axle frame, and what turned out yesterday is that frame is just being kept together through the paint and the stickers I was putting on there. So I have to exchange the entire subframe for the rear axle. So maintenance is a very important part, because that would not have happened if I would have conserved that part from the inside and the outside with a therefore formidable fat, not wax, but a fat that has a Tixotroph property that it can climb up when it's warm and settle even in going up in places I didn't push it in through high pressure.
That's fascinating, Miles, because that is what I'm looking at doing to our vehicles. I've pressure washed the underside so I can see exactly where I need to go, so I can do this undercoating, exactly what you're talking about. And when you talked about how you drain the engine oil out of your equipment, what I do is I wait till the engine has been used. It's been hot, it's been used heavily, a long trip, for example, if it's an automobile or a truck, and I come back, but I have everything all ready, and I put the car up on the lift, and I immediately drain the oil. Not 10 minutes later, immediately, when I get out of the car, the engine's still running, put it on the lift, pull the drain plug, and I let it drip for about, overnight. Literally overnight, until I get the last possible drop that I can get out of it. And then I will do exactly what you're talking about, do a flush for, maybe 1,000 miles, and then I'll change the oil again, and then put in the right oil. It's exactly what you're talking about. And that's what we're doing with our farm tractors and so forth. But I'm keeping the oil that's relatively clean for using to lubricate chains and other things. And I know that there's an issue with recycling oil in Europe that we aren't subject to yet. So we can talk about that too. But the concern is to change the fluids, the filters, because that's cheap in comparison to replacing or rebuilding these engines and transmissions and rear axles and differentials and so forth, right?
Well, let me give you just a cost estimate here, because it's my daily work here with the equipment. If you invest an additional, let's say, $1,000 to a brand new car, you will double the lifetime of that car. I mean, the chassis, you will not have the corrosion problem, even if we are in a salt belt. And just from the get-go, if you have a brand new car and you want to own that for 10 years, $1,000 extra work on that car doubles the lifetime of the metal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's like Mercedes and what they've done, and why Mercedes are considered superior car, because if you do your maintenance on a regular clock, German ingenuity aside, it will make a major difference on your vehicle. Major.
Gentlemen, let you go. I'll leave you for the last segment, and I will be on the show tomorrow, first hour. Thank you very much.
Learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food. Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy, or while still alive? Well, you won't have to, if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Now a twice as nice Twin Kit special offer from Complete H2O Minerals for all GCN listeners. Get a Complete H2O Minerals Twin Kit with 33 different minerals, vitamins, and amino acids all in a liquid form. Enough for 2 people for 1 month. Regular price $89.95, but now Complete H2O Minerals is offering the Twin Kit for $69.95. And all GCN listeners receive a bonus 16-ounce bottle of Ionic Silver absolutely free with free shipping. A $120 total value. Hurry, limited time offer. Call 803-794-4767 or click CompleteH2OMinerals.com.
We are a survival company. We manufacture our own line of Level 3 and Level 3A body armor. We proudly make our armor 100% in America. We have the best prices in the nation, about $125 cheaper than our nearest competitor. All lab certified, for thou art my rock and my fortress. Psalm 31:3. We are Fortress Survival LLC.com.
You pick up the receiver. With your heart racing and sweat dripping from your forehead, you finally muster the courage to dial the number to call into your favorite talk radio show. It rings once, twice, and then...
Hello, it's GCN. What's your name and the state you're calling from?
Surprised you got through, you squeak out.
Jason from Minnesota.
Please hold.
As you patiently wait for your turn, you begin to daydream about being a famous talk radio host and what it would be like to have your own show.
Jason from Minnesota, you're up.
Millions of loyal listeners worldwide waiting to call and talk to you.
Caller, are you there?
Cheering crowds surround you, calling out your name.
Jason! Going once, twice. Okay, we gotta move on to the next caller.
You blew it.
Huh? Wait, no!
Interact with the host you're listening to right now, online at GCNlive.com. Click on the community link. Engage with other listeners. Ask questions. Start debates. Don't agree with the host? Let them know. Be a part of the community at GCNlive.com.
We all know that Berkey Water Purification Systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey Water Filtration Systems. The Berkey Light Systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light System today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at GoBerkey.com. That's GoBerkey.com today.
Identity theft is real. So real, it could be making you its next victim right now. At the gas pump, bank, or store where you shop with your credit card, bad guys with RFID scanners can peer into your wallet or purse from a short distance away, stealing information from your RFID-enabled credit or debit cards, passports, room keys, and ID cards without you even knowing it. Stop the bad guys now with an RFID blocking wallet from ID Stronghold. ID Stronghold founded the entire RFID blocking industry over 10 years ago. Their stylish sleeves, clutch purses, and wallets are shielded throughout. The best you can buy at great pricing, as low as $14.99. Don't wait until your wallet needs replacing. Protect your identity now. Click IDStronghold.com or call 1-800-610-2770. That's 1-800-610-2770. ID Stronghold, the original RFID wallet company.
So, class, how much does it cost to buy a transmission filter for a General Motors product? Well, I found one on eBay for $12.50. Shipping is $6, so that's about what I pay. So I just want to let you know that you can do it. Michael in New York, you've got part of the last segment. Welcome.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. Hello, Miles. Hey, guys.
Miles jumped off. He'll be back tomorrow.
Yes, sir. He might be still listening.
Yeah.
Regarding the rat infestation, guys, we got a major one at our federal, state, and local governments, and darn it, I think I'm working on forming a major rat extermination business. Anybody wants to join me?
So we need a cover We need to put a dome over Washington, D.C., right?
Now, I just want to say real quick, guys, water wetter, I've used that on a 1988 Mercor that I have, and that's a super hot running engine with a turbo, 4 cylinders, a German Mercury. Runs extremely hot, and I noticed a major difference with that alone. Okay, with the engine running cooler, because it has a built-in fan, comes on automatically all the time to keep the engine cooler run so hot. So I noticed a major improvement from water wetter in the radiator fluid. Also, Slick 50. I seen a miracle with that stuff. I had a GMC Jimmy, and it had an oil leak, and I didn't keep up with it. I neglected it one summer, and it was bone dry when I checked it. I mean, literally nothing on a dipstick. And I was running it all over the place because I had a pool business going, and it ran cool the whole time. Engine never seized.
So you're talking about that's a Teflon additive that you put in your crankcase, engine crankcase.
That's correct. So that clearly enables the engine to run cooler too. So the combo, and they also make it for transmissions now as well. So from my own personal experience, I've seen those products work wonders. And then last, Marvel Mystery Oil. There's something about it, no question about it. I've seen it resurrect a dead engine. We sold the Dodge Monaco, a 65 Beautiful. The engine seized up to a neighbor. A couple of weeks later, he's riding it down the road. It was blowing all kinds of smoke. And then it cleared up, and he ran it for quite a while. The engine had a lot more miles on it, and he said that's what he did. So I use that regularly in my fuel line and in my oil changes as well. Just small amounts, just the right amount for the engine block, just the right amount in the gasoline. And so those items, guys, I've personally seen work really well.
Michael, thank you so much for your information. And when I manufactured, or when I built race engines, I assembled them with Marvel Mystery Oil back in the 1970s. Thanks so much for being with us. Mark in Philadelphia, you're on with Dr. Richard Allen Miller and me. Welcome.
Hello, Vince. Hello, Rick.
Hi.
By the way, you sound very good. You sound better. I was concerned about you, but you've re-engaged in the conversation, and I think the trip was good for you. Your energy's back. Your laughter is back.
Chicago surprised me. It was, I couldn't live there.
Yeah. Well, and Vince, and by the way, this guy inspires me. When I'm not even listening to him, when I think about Rick, I start laughing. and
you should have seen us in the lobby.
Maniacal, or whatever they call that.
You should have seen us in the lobby. Rick saw me out of the corner of his eye, ran over, stopped, chatting with this group he was with, ran over, gave me a big hug, and we started laughing. It just happens. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, it was cool to be with you. And Joey, it was nice. Thank you for coming, Vincent.
Oh, it was delightful, Rick. Thanks for sharing your room with us. Mark, what other comments do you have in the last few seconds of this broadcast?
Well, I wanted to bring up this Mondragon model that I mentioned to you about the Mondragon in the Basque region of northern Spain, and I wanted to encourage you to check that out, as well as have a conversation with Rick about that and have him look it up if he doesn't know about it, because I think there's something to that.
Tell us all how to spell it.
Mondragon. Look it up on Wikipedia. It's very interesting what they did, and it's cooperative where the workers own the cooperative, so they have ownership.
Yep.
Thank you.
Sounds interesting. I will look it up. And Mark, thanks so much for being with us, class. Above all, honesty and integrity. What happens next is up to you. Rick, thanks so much for being with us. Miles, Mark, and Michael from New York. We'll see you tomorrow. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration system and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit usaprepares.com. That's USAPREPARES.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. usaprepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Everyone says or does something silly once in a while, but once that embarrassing thing is on the internet, it can spread like a terrible rash. Put it to rest. Get a free expert analysis today from Reputation.com. It only takes 30 seconds. 800-831-0771. We protect your online image by helping to make sure that when people search for you or your business, they find the most current, accurate information possible. Reputation.com, because word travels fast. Call for a free analysis today. 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771.
Rflags.com just found out that 49-year-old Anthony Hervey, a black man in Mississippi, he was chased down in his car and killed, apparently for his support of the Confederate flag. This will not stand. Rflags.com now offering 10% of every sale to go to the Hervey family to help them in their time of need. You want to help this family? Go to rflags.com. We'll donate 10% of every sale. Rflags.com. That's rflags.com.
Hey.